our match today. Today we have a scrimmage in prep for our next match. We have our Hanover Horde Silver team playing our Hanover Heroes Silver team. We got a combination of kids here in the center and kids playing from home. So we're just getting everything set up here. We'll be set up, hopefully kicking this thing off in a few minutes. We got Escort this week. So we'll be playing 3 maps. We'll be playing Rialto, Route 66, and Watchpoint Gibraltar. So it should be a lot of fun. Following the scrimmage match, then we have then we move on to a match with our Hanover Silver Horde taking on the Silver Whales from Monterey, California. And then we finish up the night with our undefeated Gold Horde team taking on the Shogun from Franklin, Tennessee. So we'll be back here shortly, just getting things set up. We'll be ready to roll here, hopefully in just a few minutes. And then we'll kick off into some fun Overwatch action with the players from Hanover. All right, we'll be back here shortly.
Esports releases new videos every week. Subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss out.
So you want to watch the Overwatch League. You're not alone, but no matter if you're a veteran esports fan or a newcomer, you can agree on one thing. Watching the game isn't always easy. Even if you've played Overwatch before, it's tough to sort out the visual clutter on broadcast and keep track of heroes, teams, or plays at any one time. And that's what we're here to help you with today. This is your Overwatch League Viewer's Guide. To start off, we'll assume you're aware of the fundamentals of Overwatch, the basic gameplay, heroes, and the concepts of cooldowns and abilities. If you're really starting from square one though, check out the video in the description for a quick rundown before we get into things. Ready? Okay. Let's talk about the rules of engagement. If you've ever watched football, you know the rules of engagement. The offense and defense set up behind their linemen, and after the snap, players on either side do specific jobs to either advance the ball or stop it. Teams in Overwatch work in a similar way. There's a front line, usually made up of 2 tank heroes with high health and low damage. These are the linemen of Overwatch, who score fewer points, in this case kills, but contribute by starting fights, protecting teammates, and holding key positions on the map. Then there's the backline, where more vulnerable support heroes heal their teammates and provide unique tools, like bonus speed or causing enemies to take more damage. And finally, there are the DPS heroes. Their job is to do the most damage to the enemy team. These are your star wide receivers and running backs, making the flashy, high-impact plays that result from proper team coordination.
One right now, and look at it. He's just taking another angle. Oh my god! Oh, there we go, Saya! Triple kill from him! The huge plays! Just tombing him! Get out, Valiant!
A play or team fight in professional Overwatch sees both teams of 6 grouping up and starting a fight over an objective, whether it's a cart that needs to be pushed to the end of a track or control of a certain area on the map. Usually, one of the tanks will engage onto the other team to start, but a well-placed shot by a DPS can score an early kill and force a fight to break out. Priority targets are typically backline supports or low health damage dealers, but teams will focus down anyone if they're out of position. So we've established how teams organize themselves into roles and how each typical fight will go. But how do I know who's winning the fight and who should I be looking at? Allow me to direct your attention to the heads-up display. We'll take it step by step. Up here are portraits with the players, their hero, along with their health and progress towards their ultimate. The more ultimates a team has ready, the more likely they are to win the fight through sheer firepower and utility. Down below, you see what the player sees, their health, ammo, ultimate progress, and ability cooldowns. And finally, home teams will have their primary colors throughout the screen and across in-game effects, while the away team plays in white. It's nice info, but it's a lot to keep track of in the middle of a chaotic fight. And that's where the most useful bit comes in, the kill feed. This area of the screen will notify you of key happenings throughout the game, no matter whose angle you're viewing from. Mainly, it lets you know when a player has killed another player and who assisted in the kill. But it also tells how that kill happened, whether by a basic attack, ultimate, or just jumping off the map to regroup. It'll also show when a player destroys certain structures or attacks. For example, Junkrat's Riptire is not a player per se, but it's important enough that the kill feed will show if it's been destroyed. The same goes for D.Va's mech, Orisa's ultimate, Torb's turret, and Symmetra's teleporter. Lastly, in the specific case of Mercy, the kill feed will also show you if a player has been resurrected. It may sound counterintuitive that looking away from the action provides the most information, but keeping an eye on the kill feed is the best way to know what's happening. That's because the most important factor in who will win a fight is simple man advantage. The more players alive on your team, the more likely you are to win the fight, and the stats back this up. The team with the first kill wins the fight 3 out of 4 times. If you're watching the kill feed, you'll always have a good idea of what direction a fight is going in. Now let's put everything we've learned so far together and see how these techniques can help keep track of a massive, cluttered fight. In this play from the Grand Finals of Season 1, the London Spitfire have 1 more minute to push the payload against the Philadelphia Fusion. Both teams are composed similarly. Philly is using the standard 2 tank, 2 support, 2 DPS lineup, while London have traded in 1 DPS for a 3rd support hero that's tanky enough to play with the front line. The players get into formation and prepare for a fight to break out, and we see that each team has 3 ultimates. However, London has 2 players with their ults nearly charged. Once the fight breaks out, their most valuable resources will be coming up first, so slight advantage to them. The London frontline tanks start by engaging on the enemy team. While their Winston jumps in from the side, D.Va uses her ultimate to throw a bomb that forces Philly to give up their positioning. This makes Philly's Mercy use her ultimate, granting a burst of mobility and healing to keep the team alive through the onslaught. The Mercy and one of Philly's DPS heroes, their Hanzo, hide from the bomb behind the cart. However, Hanzo isn't hidden well enough, and he gives up the first kill in the fight. With man advantage secured, London is all in on the attack. Philly's Winston tries to keep the fight from moving into the backline, but London's Winston engages onto star DPS player Carpe, taking him out of the fight. Philly is able to resurrect their Hanzo at the same time though, keeping London at only a 6-on-5 advantage. These happen almost simultaneously on opposite ends of the screen, but luckily, the kill feed is keeping track. With a major DPS threat down, London targets the Philly backline, trapping them between 2 walls of blue. From here, ultimate attacks start flying from off screen and the action gets a little tough to follow. All in all, 5 players use their ults in the span of just a few seconds, and you may think that a lot happens in the chaos, but the kill feed tells us the real story. Philly scored only 1 kill, which was quickly erased through a resurrection by London's Mercy. Once the dust clears, the fight is actually back to even, and the teams get back into formation. London DPS Birdring uses his ult to initiate and catches the enemy Mercy out of position. It's a massive kill. The most valuable part of the backline goes down early and makes for a huge London advantage. They press the attack, and London looks like they get 2 kills here, sealing the deal. But remember, killing D.Va counts as 2 events in the kill feed, one for her mech and one for her, so it's not quite as over as it seems. It doesn't get much better though, as London takes down Philly's Zenyatta, the last player on their backline. All seems lost, but Carpe gets a key kill onto London's backline, taking their Zenyatta, and crucially his ultimate, out of the fight. It's now 5-on-3 for London, but Philly respawn close by, and their tank makes the smart play to back up and regroup for a proper team fight. With all 6 players alive and London's Zenyatta still on his way back, Philly have something they haven't had yet: man advantage. Winston engages to stop the cart, and once D.Va catches up, they force London to fight on the objective, letting their teammates stay safe from view. Philly's Winston eventually falls, and we're down to a 5-on-5 fight. But he's bought enough time for a big play. Carpe comes through off screen with a headshot onto the enemy DPS, London's only major damage dealer on the field. From there, we see what a real team fight victory looks like. Philly scores a kill on London's D.Va and resurrect their tank, making it 6v4 for Philly. Desperation abilities fly from London, including their own res, but the numbers advantage is too much. Philly whittles the Spitfire down, and with the kill feed all in white, the Fusion take the round.
Also with the Mercy desperately trying to keep his tanks up, but it's not going to be enough. Philadelphia Fusion make a statement here. They'll take map 1. Once again, digging their heels in at the end of Dorado. History repeats itself and they're off to a good start.
Competitive Overwatch can be a mess to follow at times, but if you can understand how team compositions play out, how fights work on a basic level, and how to use the kill feed and other in-game cues to follow the action, you'll be well on your way to breaking down the game with the best of them.
Blitz Esports releases new videos every week. Subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss out.
All right, we are back. We're getting still getting the kids filtered into their seats. We'll be starting here in just a minute after this short break.
Game over.
Whoa, look at this. Look at what? Oh, wow. Can I play tag?
All right, we are back, and we're kicking this match off here. So let's go. We got our Hanover Horde Silver team taking on our Hanover Heroes Silver team in a grudge match of Hanover to determine who is the best Silver team Overwatch player in Hanover. So it should be fun to watch today. So this is escort. This means that they need to escort a payload from the spawn point. So here you see the payload and the spawn point. One team will be jumping, trying to transport the payload. The other team will be trying to stop the team from moving the payload. So the first team's going to be able to get set up on defense first. Historically, you like to set up your defense somewhere in this area up here, taking the high ground. Trying to rain fires down on them and keeping them from taking the payload. A lot of good little hide points in here in terms of this location, as well as, like I said, the high ground from these porches surrounding this area on this map. All right, so let's see how this plays out. We have our Hanover Horde team. Let me make sure. Yes, this is the Horde coming in, setting up on defense, and the Heroes will be trying to escort the payload first. The Horde is running a Reinhardt, a Diva, a Lucio, a Doomfist, a Mercy, and a Pharah. And on the Heroes side of the house, there's a Reaper, a Zarya, a Bastion, a Baptiste, a Diva. And looks like we're still waiting on CNH Horde 11 to pick. Looks like CNH Horde 11 somehow left the game, so we will pause this for a second. Hey, did you leave the game, Brendan?
What just happened? What just happened?
Yeah, I paused it.
I have tons of questions. What just happened? I know it's Paul. That's all I know. Well, Parker, I hear you.
We really gotta get these kids to figure out their comms when they tell them that over and over again, but I don't have that time.
Parker,
All right, we are back. Let's go ahead and kick this back off. It looks like we got all our players back in.
come on, Parker, it's gonna start.
All right, so. All right, we're back in the match. Looks like somebody might have dropped off, so having some issues here. Getting this worked out a little bit. Let me pause this again, and we'll be right back after this quick break. we got it all sorted out here. We got 2 matches going on at once, so it's a little hectic. So let's head back to the action. Let's see what's going on. I think we've got everybody back in the game. All right, so we have the heroes in red trying to push the payload. What happened? Number 11 got kicked, Brendan. All right, so we're having some issues. I guess playing 2 games at once is inserting some challenges for us. So we'll be right back. Let me get him pulled back in, and we'll get this match started back up. All right, and we are back. I think we got things situated. We had a couple kids booted. Like I said, we got some kids playing remote, some kids playing here in the center. So a little bit of a issue getting everything running, but I think we got everything cracking now, and we're back at it. So we have the Horde again playing defense, and the Heroes playing offense, trying to move that payload across and get the 3 points for the map. So you can see the Horde's taking a pretty aggressive approach, setting right up on the payload. Typically, you want to play back a little bit more. But let's see if this technique works out for him. Good Reinhardt pin. Reinhardt to Reinhardt action there. Little Dog taking out Josiah, pushing him. So good eliminations there. But trade eliminations. Agent Tech gets taken out by Junkrat, played by Bareboat Baggins. But a nice res. Mercy bringing back the Doomfist there. So good play by Ash plays over. Resing that Doomfist, but he's quickly taken out by the Reinhardt of Little Dog 248. And they're able to start pushing the payload. So good job to Heroes. Held off the initial assault. We got Diva on Diva battle here. Parker, Magic Marker, taking on the Diva of Jackson. Let's see how this plays out. Little Diva, Baby Diva battle going on here. And Big Diva manages to mech up. That's Parker with the Junkrat help able to chase them out. So the Heroes were able to push the payload a little bit before the Horde managed to stop them, being super disruptive here. So let's see if the Heroes can get together. Got a lot of skirmish fighting going on here. Again, the objective of this is to move the payload. So a good Sigma. Graviton pushed the Diva up and then knocked off the side of the map by the Doomfist. Good job there by Ethan. knocking Diva off the map and sent back to spawn. So there you saw a good smash by Little Dog 248. The team of the Horde was on top of the payload, but he pushed him off. Fortunately, the rest of his team wasn't there to take advantage of that push. So just goes to show how necessary these coordinated movements are in this game. We got our Diva out here again, kind of by herself, but we do have our Junkrat out here, our Barebow Fragons, trying to be disruptive. Who else we got up here? Junkrat, Diva, good pin by Josiah there of the Horde, but they do manage to start moving the payload. We got Mercy out front here trying to do a res, but looks like she gets taken out before that res is able to be accomplished. So reses are super beneficial, but you definitely got to be cognizant of the battle that's going on and make sure that you're in a safe enough location where you can res and not get taken out. Looks like we got a good battle going in the corridor here. Barebow Fragons and Parker Magic Marker up there, fighting in that little tight space. We got Little Dog 248 coming in. Here you see the Diva of Jackson. So all in all, the Horde is doing a good job holding back the Heroes. The Heroes need to get together and make a concerted push. Smashed by Little Dog 248, and he does manage to take out the Reinhardt, Josiah. El Guapo there. So good Reinhardt play on both sides. But Little Dog 248 again kind of got out there by himself. Needs to wait for his DPS to catch up to really take advantage of those moves. Resurrection by Ash Plays Over again brings back Doomfist. So good play by Declan S there. Good Diva on Doom battle here. Alright, so here comes the Heroes. A good charge by Little Dog 248, but again, he's kind of behind enemy lines all by himself out there, and he's quickly taken out by El Guapo's. So we do have a Junkrat tire that got kicked off by Barebow Fragons. Does manage to take out 2 and the D-Mech, their Diva. So this seems to be a good opportunity for the Heroes to get on the payload and start a push. But they do, the Horde does have their Reinhardt here, holding fast, holding tight on their payload. So looks like it holds them off long enough to stop the payload for the rest of the Horde to get back and stop the push. But they are pushing now. Just 10 seconds remaining. So we'll go into overtime. As long as the Heroes can stay on the payload and keep pushing it, they just can't lose sight that they need to stay on that payload for this push. They can't separate themselves from the payload or that clock timer will start moving down. So they're doing a good job moving it. They finally really achieved numbers superiority here. So let's see if they're able to continue this push. They just got to be really careful to stay by that payload. It looks like they're doing a good job with it. I think they recognize what we call game sense, is the ability to really identify where you're at in the game. So they are drifting away, but Barebow Fragons does manage to jump back on the payload. And does manage to take out 2. A couple eliminations there by the Heroes, taking out the Horde. So they're continuing to move, even though they're currently undermanned. Right, so looks like Barebow Fragons was taken out. Looks like it was a Diva Bomb. Good Diva Bomb play by Jackson there. Takes Barebow Fragons off the payload. The rest of the Heroes aren't able to get back in time, and they were not able to secure any points on that first push. So what we're going to go ahead and do, we're going to switch sides, as it says at the bottom there, and the Horde is going to now try to push the payload. They only need to push the payload as far as the Heroes were able to push the payload in that first push. So let's see if they're able to do that, and let's see how the Heroes are able to get together and stop that push. So here you see the payload. Here shortly, you'll see a kind of a golden box light up. That's going to mark the location of how far the Heroes push the payload. So there you see it, and we'll kind of work our way back through this map to where the payload has been regenerated. So again, this time the Horde will be doing the pushing. The Horde is in blue, and the Heroes, who are in red, will be trying to stop the push. Looks like a similar lineup. Looks like Barebow Fragons has switched over to using the Reaper, but looks like Little Dog 248 is going to be switching over to run the Roadhog this time. From the Horde standpoint, they're going to be running a Bastion this time. So it looks like Agent Tech, who's Ethan, will be running the Bastion, and everybody else looks like they're running a similar lineup to what they ran the first time. So here you see we got our Mercy and Roadhog up here, but looks like we're going to try to push forward. again, decided, looks like the strategy is to try to meet him at the point of defeat here, but the Reinhardt manages to take out both of the heroes, Diva and Baby Diva, and the Horde is making a really good quick push. Here comes Barebow Fraggins running the Reaper here. Being disruptive, trying to stay away, trying to take away their attention, but the Bastion does manage to take him out, so good play by Ethan there. Takes out that DPS, and the Horde need to move quickly. I'm sorry, the Heroes need to move quickly to try to get in here and stop that push. The Roadhog taken out by that Bastion. They're doing the pirate ship strategy by having the shielded Reinhardt up here with the Bastion on top. And quickly, Ethan has his ultimate. We got a Genji switched over here. Looks like Barebow Fraggins decided to switch over to the Genji. But it was a 1 versus 6. That's not going to work out, and the Horde manages to get the first points of the game. So good job by the Horde there. The Heroes had a little bit they had a good push there for a minute. But the Horde, the dominant team on the first map of Rialto. Here you see the ultimate by Barebow Fraggins that did manage to buy them enough time. You see 1 elimination, 2 elimination, D-Max the Baby Diva, and then he follows up by taking out the Baby Diva. So good play there by Barebow Fraggins of the Heroes, but it's not enough. And the Horde get the first points of the map. So let's go ahead and credit the Horde. Congratulations, and we'll move right on to the second map here. As soon as this timer runs out, we'll switch the map over, and we're going to move over to Route 66. Again, we got some great follow-up action today. We got the Hanover Horde will go on after this match to take on the Whales from Monterey, California, and then the match tonight at 7 will be the Hanover Horde Gold team taking on the Franklin Shogun. So a lot of great matches tonight. We're really excited about them. We just have 2 weeks left in the season, so we've got a lot to look forward to. So let me get the map set up here. I got everybody switched over. Just change this map out to, we will be moving to Route 66. All right. Make sure we got it set up here, and we are. So I'm going to go ahead and kick this thing off. Let me make sure we got everything good, and we do. So this time we swap sides. The Horde is up 1-0. This will be the second map, Route 66. This is one of, most players I know, this is one of their favorite maps. Because there's a lot of different structure to this map and a lot of different opportunities. It goes from kind of a wrecked train scenery, kind of a old rundown mining town in the desert. It goes down through a little corridor here into an old village. You can see a lot of, then it goes back again, goes back underground for a little bit to its final destination point here. So again, a really fun map. Most people who play Overwatch really enjoy playing this map. All right, so here you see now this time the Heroes will be on defense first. So let me get back over there to where they're at. They're going to be setting up on defense, and the Horde will be trying to push the payload. So the Heroes, looks like they have a similar lineup as last time. Looks like Barebow Fraggins, CNH Horde 12, this time will be playing Hanzo. And everybody else looks like they'll be playing similar characters to last time. And from the Heroes, I'm sorry, the Horde standpoint, it looks like Agent Tech Ethan has switched over to Hanzo. Again, this is a larger map, a little bit more room to shoot. So longer range characters such as Hanzo are typically a benefit here. So it looks like we got little battles going on. Looks like the D-Mech of the Heroes, Parker Magic Marker was D-Mech there, so he's in Baby Diva mode. The Reinhardt has taken out the Diva from the Horde, but the Horde quickly is able to get on top of the payload and start pushing it with, looks like that's El Guapo, who's Josiah. They're pushing the payload along with the help of their Reaper. So it looks like Beast Mode, looks like Cam has swapped over to Reaper. Alright, so let's see if the Heroes are able to get together and make a good defensive fight against the Horde here, as the Horde makes their push. So here you see the Heroes coming in. You got Little Dog 248 comes in with a smash, doesn't find anybody home. And he's quickly taken out by lethal fires by Ethan, by Agent Tech. So here comes the rest of the heroes. It looks like Little Dog charged in a little bit too early ahead of his team and didn't let the rest of his team go in there. So looks like we got some good fighting. Looks like we had a resurrection attempt. Alright, so here comes the rest of the team coming in. Agent Tech takes out the Barebow Fraggins Reaper there. Alright, so good play there by Josiah. Takes out Agent Tech with an accurate fire. Takes out the Little Dog 248's Reinhardt. Exchanging fires here. Agent Tech with a couple good eliminations, taking out the 2 support characters of the heroes. So anytime you can take out support characters, it really makes it difficult to make a good concerted push. So good job, Agent Tech. Good accurate fires coming from Ethan today. Alright, let's get over here and look at this payload. Looks like we got the heroes coming in, trying to drop in from the top. You see the Reinhardt taking out the Diva of the Horde. But a good counter charge by Josiah, by El Guapo there. But here comes a baby Diva bomb. Does manage to take out the Diva of the Horde. Let's see if they're able to capitalize on that. Lucio running along the top here. Reaper coming up in behind. But the payload continues to move despite the Diva bomb and a couple eliminations by the Horde. Sorry, by the heroes. A little confusing trying to call both our teams at the same time. So looks like there's fighting taking place away from the payload, and the payload continues to push. They have managed to achieve the 2nd point. So we got a Reinhardt on Reinhardt battle. Little Dog 248 versus El Guapo. And then the Reaper comes in and cleans up Little Dog. The CNH Horde 3, who's El Guapo. Josiah manages to take out the Mercy of Paxton. So they're continuing to push. Horde is doing a really good job pushing this payload. The heroes are coming in, being a little bit disruptive, slowing them down from time to time, but largely they've had their way with this map thus far. Let's see if the Horde's able to the heroes are able to make a stand. Ethan unleashes his ultimate, does manage to take out the Mercy of the heroes. Looks like we got a swap over. We got a Winston now. So it looks like Little Dog 248, who is Abram, swapped over to Winston, but he's quickly taken out by Ethan, by Agent Tech. There's the ultimate unleashed by Barebow Fraggins, taking out the Hanzo, the Reaper, and the Mercy of the Horde. So good job there. Barebow Fraggins switching over to Reaper. See if he's able to make that pay. Little Dog 248's coming in here. We got a Diva bomb going off here. Doesn't find anybody home. Little Dog 248 does manage to demech the Diva. Heroes are doing a good job here. They, like I said, the Horde had pretty much their way with things. But some good eliminations by the Horde there. Counter ultimate by the Horde. Does manage to take out Little Dog 248 with his Winston. Ash plays over, and they manage to push to the 3rd point. Almost there. They were just literally probably a meter or 2 away before Barebow Fraggins stopped them. But Josiah comes in with the charge. Reaper, played by Ethan, takes out the Reaper, played by Barebow Fraggins. And that is going to be it. 3 points they were able to earn in a pretty decent speed. So 3 minutes, 10 seconds remaining. The heroes are going to have to push the payload the entire distance, get all 3 points, at which point we'll go into a tiebreaker at that point. So let's zip on back. Let's see if the heroes are up for the challenge today. If not, then the Horde will win this map, and they will win the match, the scrimmage match that we're playing today between the Hanover Heroes and the Hanover Horde. So we're going to switch sides this time. This time the heroes will be coming out of the panorama, which is the spawn point here. Looks like there was some swap outs. Looks like Little Dog 248 is going to be playing Orisa this time, so that's a little bit of a change. Barebow Fraggins is going to stick with the Reaper, and everybody else is playing similar characters they played last time. From the Horde's perspective, they are running a Winston this time, so that's a little bit different than what they usually do. And Agent Tech will be playing a Widowmaker. So let's see how this plays out. These are different lineups for both teams. Half the fun of playing a scrimmage is get to play players you haven't otherwise played before. So Winston's typically considered a dive tank because he can jump in, as you can see, kind of jump in, splash down the players with his melee type attacks and do a lot of damage. So let's see if they can take advantage of that. There you see the Fire of Widowmaker, more of a long range character. Again, this is a good map for those long range type fires. Alright, so we have our Diva, Parker Magic Marker up here on top, trying to free up some room, take some space and time, which is what tanks do, and allow the rest of the team to come in. Elimination does take out the Winston. Ash plays over, does manage to resurrect the Agent Tech Ethan on that side. So another good resurrection by Declan there to help his team out. Elimination by Reaper there, taking out the Reinhardt, taking out Guapo's Reinhardt there. So Parker did a good job up there laying down fires, but was ultimately demeched by the Reaper from the Horde. But they do manage to secure the payload. This is the furthest point from the spawn point of the Horde. So let's see if the heroes are able to take advantage of that. Alright, so we got some skirmish fighting all over the place. Allows time for Josiah, the Reinhardt, of Guapo to get back, and he does some damage, as well as the Reaper played by the Horde takes out the Orisa of the Heroes. So a lot of trading, and the Horde manages to get the numbers advantage there. This is a good spot to get some boot plays by Lucio here, but Lucio is still learning his character. That's Brendan this time. We just swapped him over to support. It's difficult to play that good support role, so we're trading him up, trying to spin him up. But here comes the Orisa, Little Dog 248. Let's see if he's able to make some space and time for the rest of his team to get in there. Here comes the rest of his team. Looks like they're trying to do a little flanking maneuver from the right-hand side here. Let's see how successful they are with that. Looks like Josiah kind of spied him out and took him out. So a couple eliminations there, both with his hammer and his fire strike. Good job by Josiah. 2 eliminations. Doomfist gets an elimination on the Orisa, finally takes Little Dog 248 out. So the Horde has done a good job. The Heroes did a good job initially coming out, getting the payload and making a good first push, but the Horde rallied back and has since dominated this portion of the map. So it looks like we've had another swap out. Looks like Little Dog 248 has switched over to Sigma, so we'll see if this comp works a little bit better for him. Clearly the Horde's coming in for the spawn pin. Looks like we had a Reaper ultimate go off, but that was quickly silenced by the other team. Alright, so again, the Heroes are having a hard time putting together a combined attack here. There's an ultimate unleashed by the Reaper from the Heroes. It doesn't find anybody home. So the Heroes really need to make a good push here. The Horde again is playing really good defense here. You see the Agent Tech's Doomfist comes down with a smash but doesn't find anybody home. So a lot of mistimed ultimates between both these teams this match. Hopefully something we can get cleaned up with this week's practice and in future matches. Alright, so good fire strike there by CNH Horde 3. He's playing Reinhardt, Little Dog 248. Playing Reinhardt for the Heroes now. So we've had a lot of character swaps. I'm still trying to find our way with our silver teams right now. They're practicing really hard. They're really working together hard, but they're playing a good, well-matched team in the Horde. So again, trading eliminations, just a couple seconds left. Unless they can get on that payload and extend overtime, they can't. And the Horde are going to win this map, and because it's their second point, they're going to win the match. So really well played game by the Horde, taking on the Heroes. The Heroes are down a player today, so unfortunately it's a little hard to play when you've got a bot. In fact, I didn't see the bot out there too much at all, so it really wasn't much of a contributor. Here you see nice plays by the hammer of Josiah. That is, he goes by the gamer tag El Guapo. So he's really become a really good Reinhardt. in his time since he's progressed here, and really proud of how far he's come to really help the Horde be a really good quality silver team. So we're going to go ahead and, once this kicks back in, we're just going to go ahead and switch back over to the next map, Watchpoint Gibraltar. We do have a match in about 20 minutes, and I think we can get this map done. So let's go ahead and swap all these kids back over here. We'll play one more. All right. Got those swapped over. Let's set the map to Watchpoint. All right, let's kick this off. All right, so one more match. This is, again, this is a tune-up match for the Horde. This is the match for the Heroes this week. They have a bye, so it's just a good opportunity for us to get some scrimming done. So Watchpoint Gibraltar, again, kind of a fun map. A lot of open areas initially, and then it moves more towards a tight type configuration. All right, so let's see if a lot of times if it's a third map and the team has already conceded the loss, a lot of times they'll try different characters out. So we'll see how what the teams decide to do here. All right, so here you see the final point. This is where they're trying to get to. So let's work our way down here. As you can see, it's going to go into a kind of a factory or machine shop type area. It's going to come down through here, and then it's going to open up again once we get down here. Over in this direction. Here you see the payload, and there you see the spawn point. So this time we got the Horde in blue and the Heroes in red. The Horde lineup is looking, looks like they're going to be playing a Sigma this time. So that's a little bit interesting. Agent Tech's going to switch back to the Doomfist. And from the Heroes perspective, looks like they're playing, looks like Barebow Fraggins is playing Widowmaker this time. And I gotta find out, that bot is not out here. I don't know where Zarya that bot is. Alright, so looks like a couple eliminations. The Heroes Little Dog 248 takes out Ash Plays Over. So taking out support characters. So good play by Sigma there. Alright. So it looks like the Heroes did manage to come out and are starting to push this payload. So good job coming out, stopping the defenses of the Horde. But Josiah comes in with a good charge there to stop the payload and knock the Reinhardt off the top. Little Dog 248 does manage to take out the Lucio. Diva takes out the Reaper of the Horde, but a couple good resurrections by both Mercies. So good play by Declan and Paxton to resurrect their players. But looks like a slight numbers advantage by the Horde right now, as the Heroes try to get back on their payload and continue the push. Got a lot of action going on here. Looks like the Diva's all alone. She's not going to last real long. Taken out in baby mode too. Alright, so here you see the Heroes working together, try to get in there. Good charge by Josiah. Pushes the Little Dog 248's Reinhardt back to the spawn point and then takes him out. So while the Heroes had a good initial push, the Horde has rallied back and has done a good job setting up the defenses. The Widowmaker up here of Barebow Fraggins. Let's see if he's able to find anybody home and take out some characters to allow the Heroes to push out of here and make a good team push against the enemy. Got Diva and Diva here shooting across each other. Looks like Parker Magic Marker is going to take on Jackson head to head and takes him out, sends him into Baby Diva mode when he demechs him. Looks like he's going to follow him and try to take him out. He's got the high ground over here. Ash Plays Over, takes out Little Dog 248. Resurrection attempt by Ash Plays Over is quickly taken. By Paxton's quickly put down by the Horde. So you see Parker Magic Marker up there on top playing as Diva, raining down fires on him. A smash by Little Dog 248 there. See if the rest of the team's able to take advantage of it. Good Diva bomb by Parker Magic Marker there. Does manage to take out the Reaper and the Mercy. of the Horde. So let's see if the Heroes are able to capitalize on this numbers advantage they have right now. Good play by Josiah. Good play by El Guapo, buying him time, and takes out the Reaper along with the Doomfist. Takes out the Reinhardt of the Heroes. But we got a resurrection coming here, so good job by Paxton. Resurrecting his Reinhardt, getting right back in the fight so they can continue to push this payload. Widowmaker does find a couple players home, taking out Ash, plays over, as well as the Reaper. And manages to start pushing the payload, but quickly here comes the Heroes back. Here you see the Doomfist on Reinhardt battle. Ethan manages to miss to dodge the charge of the Reinhardt of Little Dog 248. But Little Dog 248 battles back and takes out the Doomfist, but then Josiah El Guapo comes in and manages to take out 3 players of the Heroes. So really good play all around there. The last play by Josiah El Guapo did a really good job coming in there and taking out 3 of the Horde, knocking them off the payload, and ending that first map with them unable to push past this location down here in this little defilade. So as with the last map, the Heroes pushed this far. So once this timer goes down, the 16 seconds or so, gold box will light up. If the Horde is able to push past that gold box, again, they will win this map. Alright, so let's swap over here. This is, as you can see, the spawn point. So at this point, the Horde will be pushing out of the spawn, and the Heroes will be coming here shortly. We should be en route right now, getting ready to set up and set up in a defensive position to try to stop them from pushing that payload farther than they were able to push it.
Incoming in 30 seconds.
All right, so let's see what we got here from a defense perspective. Looks like the Heroes are running, they're going to be running a Doomfist this time. So it looks like Barebow Fragons has swapped over to a Doomfist. All right, they got their defenses set up.
3, 2, 1.
All right, let's see if they're able to see if the Heroes are able to defend against the Horde onslaught here coming out of the spawn. So a lot going on here, as you can see, a lot of action taking place. No eliminations there. There's an elimination with the Horde Reinhardt, Josiah El Guapo taking out the Reinhardt of the Heroes. A lot of eliminating. Agent Tech with a couple nice eliminations there. Lucio with an elimination from the Horde, and with that, they have the numbers advantage, and they will continue. They will start to push the payload. But here comes the Doomfist, drops down right on top of the payload. Does manage to knock him off, but unfortunately, he's not supported by any tanks or any other DPS. So the initial benefit is wiped out. There you see Little Dog 248 there charging in. Does manage to drive him off the payload, but they are really close there to achieving the point, and with just a couple more meters, they're going to be able to push and win the map. But the Horde won't go silently, or I'm sorry, the Heroes won't, but they will in this case. So that's going to wrap it up. Really good job by both teams. The Heroes are down a person, and sometimes that's the difference between being able to wage a fair match and really struggling. So I think being down that player. So here you see the Little Dog 248. You see his Reinhardt going in there, taking out Ash Plays Over, his support character, taking out Lucio, taking out the Reinhardt of the Horde. So, but just not enough for the Heroes today. So we'll credit the Horde with their 3rd point for today, and congratulate everybody for a great, well-fought match. A lot of fun playing the scrim today. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Come on back. We'll start the next stream around 6 o'clock where the Hanover Horde Silver team, they're going to stick with us, and they're going to play the Monterey, California Whales. So it should be a great match. Look forward. Thanks for joining our stream today. And like I said, come back at 6 and 7 for a couple more great Overwatch matches with the Hanover XP League.